What's the eternal principle?
Brahman.
Which is?
Well, we call it God, but that personifies it.
If you're not subscribed to YouTube yet, you're an asshole. No, I'm just joking. Seriously, you're trying to get to YouTube. That's probably not going to help. If you want to take like 10 seconds and go over to YouTube and smash that subscribe button, that would be pretty cool. Got some good things in the works, man. I setting up a little studio here so I could just hop on, press record, and then just get right to it. So it's been a long day, man. I've been doing a lot of adult shit, a lot of cleaning, a lot of cooking. And, man, that's just the kind of guy I am. That's just the kind of guy I am. A responsible one. I'm lying. So, even that, right? Like the cost of comfort. If you want to know the state of my mind, come into my home. If you want to know the state of my mind, come into my home, look at my sink, look in the laundry, look in my room, look in the bathroom, and you will get a clear-cut view into where my mental health is at, whether I'm on the spiritual beam or not. Because when it's chaos up here, it looks like a fucking stampede has gone through my home. And, I just wouldn't have a guest over ever. I don't really know what I'm talking about. But anyways, the point is, I was thinking about what comfort has cost me in my life. And it's basically there to continue to cost you everything. Even your beliefs, even the beliefs that you are familiar with, are comfortable merely because they're familiar. Last episode, we talked about an expander, right? What's an expander? An expander is somebody who gets you to see, to believe that the things that you want in your life are possible, within your reach, and on their way to you. Now, that means that my dreams are mine. That means that the imagination I have for the goodness of my life or the things that I want to do are possible. If you can see it, you can achieve it type thing, right? But there is beliefs within me that right after I'll be like, yeah, I'll for sure, I'm going to try my absolute hardest. And we're going to go FTG full time. It's going to be a very popular, lucrative podcast where I'm going to be able to travel, sit down with dope people, talk about dope shit, and do dope shit. Right? Fucking yes. I'm going to be able to hire my friends. We're going to have a booming merch line. I'm going to be able to make my own shit all the time, whenever I want. I'm going to go across the country, fucking speak at schools and centers and communities and run events and host conferences and speak and do breath work. I'm going to go to India and fucking learn how to be a Vedic, get trained in Vedic meditation, be a Vedic meditation teacher. So I'll be in India for 3 months. Then I'm going to so I've gotten comfortable with that not happening. And there's a fucking cost to that. And I never realized that comfort seeped into your beliefs. You always think comfort is like, oh man, I really don't want to go, I really don't want to go speak, or I really don't want to go walk through this fear. Let me just come up with an excuse so I can dip and nay away from this thing. And I'm just going to stay right here, be comfy, not going to walk through fear, and everything's going to be better. It's like, no, it doesn't just stop there. It gets into my beliefs, right? Because after listing all these things that would be so incredible, there's a little whisper of doubt that goes, yeah, but that ain't going to happen. It sounds really cool. It sounds really exciting. yeah, FTG is dope, and South Florida fucks with it, and Delray's, whatever. You got the support. Yeah, you sell some shirts. It's far from lucrative, but right? And it's like, there ain't no way I'm gonna be financially free, uh, location freedom, and time freedom. Right? There ain't no way that's gonna happen. And if and I have to challenge, I have to act as though that belief, that whisper of doubt is not real, you know, that is not real. And that's uncomfortable because if I'm going to challenge and spearhead that limiting belief, that means I have to operate in a way that supports those extravagant visions, those extravagant dreams. And that's whatever, that's difficult, I guess. But how long you got? How long you fucking got? We're here one day and we're vaporized the next. So it's like y'all are gonna talk shit anyways. I'd rather give you something to fucking talk about. Yeah, I don't know, man. So I talked about it last week, man. There is this iteration of me that is, oh God, I don't even. There's an iteration of me that wants to lay around all day, not do anything, you know, get stoned, watch movies, play video games, uh, drink, do drugs, make enough money just to get by, hit some parties here and there, and then just fucking exist. There is this low level, lazy, unmotivated fuck, And I know, like I'm very well acquainted with him, and even though drugs are no longer a part of the picture, that guy still has some shit to say. And man, it's like it's a fine line. It's a fine line of knowing how to rest and digest, knowing how to just chill, not overwork yourself or whatever. And then I got like 2 hours of that before I start spiraling into fucking badland in my mind, right? And maybe that's a gift, but I just I'm a guy who has to I'm a guy who does really really well when at the end of the day he's proud of how he lived. If I'm living my day and I'm taking care of shit and I'm showing up to life how I want to show up and I'm being kind of others and I'm having good thoughts and I'm not giving up on myself and walking through fear and things like that. My house is nice. I'm getting out in the sun. I'm exercising, treating my body right, spiritually dialed in. Maybe like just hitting it on all fronts. Not like a crazy curriculum. Just like really really living as though just living with intent, right? And so when that guy has room to play, man, I'm walking around chest out, head high, just fucking full of love, shoulders back, like I'm good, right? And that's that energy, that's that high vibration when you stay in that, when you stay in that, you don't have to try to attract anything. You're just constantly promoting by your own vibration the things in your life that are meant to be yours. And then they just find you. And so, in order for that guy to have room to play, in order for that guy to take the lead in my life, I can't lean into comfort. It's too costly. Now, here is the ultimate lie about comfort. is the actual comfort that I'm seeking lies in the work that I'm avoiding. Let me say that one more time. The actual comfort that I'm seeking lies in the discomfort that I'm avoiding. I don't know. Listen, I don't know if it's because I was an addict for years or I was born this way, but for whatever reason, I have this iteration within me that always wants to end up doing a thing, being in a situation that really, really pleases me. And it's like, forms of discomfort or like, oh, I don't want to go there, or oh, fucking, I got to do this or do that or whatever, or oh, I got to get up and go to work. Like, that's called dread. And dread is so ugly. Dread is like this longing, this like fucking just like brooding over the day of life that is in front of me. Dread is, everything in my day today, I would rather have it be different. And like, no shit, you're going to be in a bad mental space with that, man. You think your family, the world, your work, your occupations, affairs, friends, lovers, you think they're getting the best version of you. You think that you're attracting the things in your life that are meant for you? Hell no, man. Dread is the fucking worst, dude. Ugh. I got to put some new sound bites on these things. We got just Chris Farley and Happy Gilmore, but that's what I'm about.
Oh, this is fun.
Yeah, it was.
So, anyways, man, I'm grateful that I don't have. All right, I don't have dread anymore. I really don't have dread anymore. Now I work fucking 6 days a week, and I work in treatment, and it's fucking cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs in that bitch. All right. It's difficult. You're dealing with people who are at hopefully the sickest point in their lives they're ever going to be again. All right. You're dealing with faulty belief systems, radical self-sabotaging nature, selfishness to the 10th degree, devious, manipulative. It's just like, but that's okay, right? Like, that's part of the deal. But, it's you, couple other employees that are hopefully, relatively well, against, I don't know, 30, 40 of that type of other energy, So, fucking let me go try doing that job, not meditating, not in spiritual work, not maintaining transparency with another man, getting challenged, writing out inventory. Like, fucking, dude, yeah, right. I'd be drunk 2 seconds. Drunk 2 seconds, right? And we're getting close. No, I'm playing. I'm not. I'm joking. I'm not. So with that type of workload and the type of dependability that I have on myself and my life, I accept that gladly. It's a fucking joy. I mean, at the baseline of everything, it is a joy to accept all the commitments, actions I have to take, commitments that I have to keep, responsibilities, the dependability of, there's a load to carry, and couldn't be happier with it. Does it get tough? Does the weight of the world sometimes feel like a steel cloak? Yeah, 100%, man. It for sure does. But see, over the years, through regular meditation, prayer, writing, 12-step work, etc., you're going to establish a baseline level of okayness where everything in my life back in the day was like I was not okay. I would just wake up, my eyes would go, bing, I'm awake. And then my first thought would be like, I'm not okay. Everything's not okay. I fucking hate my life. I don't like him. Fuck this. And I don't want to do anything after me waking up. Anything. You know, I don't know what that is. I don't know if you guys got that shit or what, but let me tell you what, man. My mind is a predator. It just wants to jam me up. It just wants to shove me in a corner of the room and say, stay there, don't get up, and don't challenge me, you know? And I think once you are well aware of the cost and the ramifications of that, listening to your mind, sitting in a corner of the room and not moving, you'll get up and fucking move. Once you've experienced the life of consequences, that shrinking and playing small and the needy, lower, whiny fucking self, once you realize what that guy or that gal can get from the world, what you can bring to the world, what you can create, you'll change. Only then. Which is a really tough thing, you know? I know I got off track topic where the hell I was going, but whatever. I don't really give a shit. You know, you look into the eyes of other people and you try to communicate the beauty of this way of life, right? And you try to communicate when you're attempting to draw a soul. It sounds really hoity-toity when I say that, but at the essence of everything, that's really just what it is. When you are doing your best to draw a person, draw their soul over to this side, to get out of the self-imposed suffering, to choose discomfort, to get honest about the ghosts that they've carried, you can see in their eyes that they want it. But then you watch how they move, and you see a person that is divided against themselves. And it's tough to see, but if we can remember that everyone is living out their own karma. Everyone is on the path that they are supposed to be on. Whether it is painful for me to watch or joyful for me to watch, it's just the way it is, you know? Yeah, and so to let other people have their own experience, it really frees you up to witness, to report your experience the best you can, always willing at any time to report your experience the best you can, and then step away. And then, you know, if it takes, it takes. If it doesn't, it doesn't. We're good either way. Because you know, like there's humility in that. To know that you know that you know. The only thing you can do, but yet the most powerful thing you can do, is learn how to communicate and report your experience the best way, the most effective way you can. And whether somebody listens or not is none of my business, you know? It's tough, but it frees you up because that is love without demand of any type of reward or result. It's, I'm going to give you everything I got. I'm going to give you every conversation. I'm going to give you any calories I got left in me to burn. I'm here for you right now. I'm here. What can I do? How can I help? But I also do not expect anything from you. It's okay. It's okay if you go back out. It's okay if you don't listen. It's okay if you don't like me. It's okay if the message hits you right in the soul and everything changes for you. Either way, it's okay. And I never used to be like that. You know what I mean? Like, and it's like you get so excited about a new way of life, or you transcended some type of pain or discomfort, um, or you got cracked open and had the courage to let God in enough to get saved and restored. Um, you know, it just is. That's all it's gonna take. I'm pretty sure I just completely forgot where I was going with that thought. And I really don't give a shit. And I'm definitely not going to edit this out because I don't know. It's just real. It's not a show. Who knows? I don't know. But anyways, um, when that's where I was going, that's where I was going. You get so excited when you transcend pain and whatever it was that made everything track for you. um, and then you're trying to communicate this to others, and like it's out of love that you want them to experience it just the same, that you almost speak to them in a way like you're trying to crack their head open and dump everything you learned down into their skull. And you push people away when you do that. I think a lot of the time it's just an amateur hour mistake. It's very wet behind the ears, boyish type stuff. um, because what we fail to realize is that it's all on God's time. Me thinking that I tried hard enough to get better, that I cracked some type of code or level that allowed me to get better is the worst thing that could happen to me. Me thinking that I worked myself better, I don't know. I don't even like claiming. I don't know. I mean, whatever. I guess that's falsely humble. Like we know, like, listen, you're either like doing inner work or you're not, right? But that's an opportunity. That's an opportunity to be able to drift in the arena of your inner world and dive into places that you didn't realize were there. Allow yourself and allow those things to move up and through you and transcend and overcome, and then communicate it to another person and move up another baseline of happiness or overcome a defect. And that's a fucking privilege. I don't know if I feel comfortable being like, yeah, I do the inner work. You know what I'm saying? That's why I got better. I don't know. But what I have found is that God is in the cracks. Divinity reveals itself in your brokenness. God will meet every human right at the level of their defects and shortcomings and make his power known through that defect and shortcoming. I'll give you an example. I got sober in Pompano Beach in Broward County in South Florida. And there was this women's halfway. I forget the name of the lady who ran it, or it was her house. I totally forget her name. It might have been like Cece or something like that. And she was like, these fucking girls did not like her. Like, apparently she was just this hard ass bitch, right? Like, just you hear stories and it's just completely unreasonable, power trip type shit. But here's the thing, man. The girls in that house, they fucking got better. Like, they got better, right? Yeah, sure. She was a bitch, right? She micromanaged. you know, just authoritative, power trip, like really rude shit that you don't like seeing out of a person. It's my belief that God used that as a conduit, maybe where she was inhibiting her own growth or she couldn't see past this level of shortcoming at that time in her life. And so it's not like God was like, oh, until you get better and work through this power trip ego shit, I'm not going to show up in your life. No, that's fucking human. That's human shit. That's another one of the problems is like, I used to cast like human conditions and attributes and beliefs and thought life onto my God. It's like, who the hell wants a God that thinks like me? You know what I mean? Um, and so it's my belief that he meets us right where we're at. And he's like, well, I'm still going to demonstrate my power through you to show others what I can do, even though you're sitting on this fucking shortcoming like an asshole. I'm still going to work though, because my love is unconditional. It is forever. And you don't have to perform for it. Right. And there's not like, I don't know, man. I feel like there's so much more power. I can feel so much more power in me, in my life, the track that I'm on, the way it's going when I am paying attention to brokenness, my brokenness, and I am being honest about my brokenness with another. I feel like sometimes in this recovery realm or spiritual realm or whatever we're doing, it's kind of like this fucking show off of this is how great my life is. This is how much I know about God. This is how much I can quote scripture. This is how much I can quote the big book. La 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 la. And it's just like, why are we talking about how fucking great we are? Last time I checked, I got here because I was fucking broken. That's what got me in the door. And me continuing to honor brokenness allows me to stay on the path. And I just feel like there's a lot of peacocking in the spiritual world or recovery. And it's like, man, we are so much more alike in our defects and shortcomings than I think we are in our virtues. Now, I'm not saying that, you know, life isn't supposed to be beautiful and we can't talk about how great things are and how much we know about God and quote scripture and nerd out in the big book. Fucking do it, man. Have fun. But also, don't forget about the humanity that we have to deal with and how burning, what a burden it can be. It can fucking hurt sometimes, man. And God knows that we have to deal with humanity. That's why he meets us right where we get stuck in our humanity. I don't know. Yeah, man, there's just a lot of love out there. When I did my last breathwork session, which was last Tuesday, number one, it took me so my first session, it once we halted the cycle of the breath, right? Once we went back to just normal breathing, that's when the water work started. That's when I started crying like a baby. This time, dude, I don't even know. Maybe it was like 5 minutes in. I was just bawling to where like that deep, ugly cry where it's like your whole like face kind of contorts. That's what was going on. And I had to really focus to continue the breath work, to continue to breathe through it. And while my first session, if it just felt like I was so safe, so comfortable, like I felt like I was resting in the palm of the hand of God, to the point where I even was nestling kind of like in my bed, and it was it was a really beautiful experience. This time it was beautiful, but I could feel the pain inside of me that I just was not privy to, man. It just really, really is mind blowing. Like when we talk about inner world, right? For instance, right now it is 9:09 p.m. Sunday, May 4th in South Florida. And outside my home, there's a whole ass world going on. The chaos of life is happening right now. There's so much going on outside my home that I'm completely unaware of. It's the same thing with our inner world. There's cities of pain that we've forgotten about. There's crevices of joy that have yet to be uncovered. Um, there's the parting seas of limiting beliefs waiting to be fucking cried through. And that's what I was feeling. It was just like, oh God, I could not stop crying. And I remember I was like, I felt angry, man. I felt like pissed off. Once I started crying out all this fucking pain just throughout life, you go through life and there's so much especially as a kid, you just go through so much weird shit. Everything's so confusing. Other kids are mean, and you just don't know. No one was by my side narrating what was happening and how I should respond to it and whether things were okay or if it was really serious or not that serious, or I didn't know. And so when it was really when it confounded me, it hurt even more because I just didn't know how to process it. And so all that stuff got stored in the cells. And I believe that's what I was feeling in this last session. Could not stop crying. I remember I just felt angry at the fact that I was like this guy, this 37-year-old, heroin addict that had, years of pain, of addiction, just whatever, trauma. And I'm this 37-year-old dude laying on my fucking bed, being guided in breath work by another man, attempting to transcend. And I remember being pissed off. Like, why the fuck do I have to do all this shit, why can't shit just be good? I remember being mad at God, and it was almost like he wanted me to express how pissed off I was. It was just what the fuck, man? Why? Why me, And these thoughts are coming and I'm just crying. And I know it's for others, That's how much, I don't know, maybe it's not. What I've seen is that it's for others, because pretty much whatever you've gone through, I can speak your language on it. We can have a conversation about it. If there's any type of pain on the inside, we can talk about it and I can tell you about it. And that's that common bond. That's that impact, that persuasive nature that can't be taught. It's not a skill. It's life lived. It's just life lived, And so anyways, once I had that thought and with all the crying I did, I actually thought about my clients. I thought about my clients, and I imagined me sitting in the group room, and I had this strong desire that I just wanted to be pure love in front of them. And I wanted them to feel that from me just by being with them. And that just made me tear up and cry even more. But after going through the painful crying, into the anger, into the realization of this has a purpose, Scott, and it's for others. And then I thought about the sphere of my influence and the others in that sphere. And I called myself into question, kind of, and was like, how much are you loving? You know, how, like, do people feel love when they're with you? Do they feel kindness? Because, man, like, if I meet somebody, or you, like, you know, you're watching a video or something, or Love on the Spectrum, and you see just kindness in another person, in an adult, you know? And I often have the thought that I'm like, man, like, I wish I was kinder. I wish I was nicer. Like, I hope I'm nice, you know? I want to be gentle and kind and loving. And that's great to say, honestly, because um, that's the thing I repelled the most when I was younger, and that's what nearly took me out of the game. But yeah, I just wanted to be loved, man. And you know, while that was a beautiful experience, right when I got back into reality, motherfucking shortcomings just right fucking there, dude. Just right there, bro. Like, you know, this has got to be the devil. Like, for sure, if you're having a powerful experience like that, and then right when you come out of it, just boom, you get those lower thoughts, the lower self iteration of you. And it's just like, you know, I have to believe that that is because evil, or whatever you want to call it, sees that progress, sees that level up, if you will, and goes, we got to fucking get him right now. We got to get him right now. This motherfucker getting too G'd up. He's getting too G'd up. We gonna get him now. We gonna get him now. And listen, the notion that, you know, we are ever gonna be fixed is a fucking myth. You know, I don't even think we should be trying to fix ourselves. For me, the peace comes when I know the evolution of my growth is happening right now, whether I want it to be happening or not. So if I can have the courage to marvel in the ordinary of my day and let life be life, the more the boon of life is going to show up to support me in my evolution endeavors. I don't think that it's really about trying harder. I think it's about giving up more, or letting go more, or leaning into what is. Like, for instance, my imagination of, you know, FTG lucrative podcasts, meeting dope people, talking about dope shit and doing dope shit, and speaking at events across the country and running conferences, right? The uncommon way to attain all that is to let go of trying to get it. Follow me. When I let go of the try, what I'm indirectly saying is this imagination, if I can dream it, I can achieve it. So it is just waiting for me. It's waiting for me. There's a red carpet. The only thing that I truly need to do is address and lean into my self-worth that keeps me small and thinking that I cannot have those things, right? So I need to address the self-worth and address the limiting beliefs through the inner spiritual work. The spiritual work is the horse. Getting the result is the cart. This world is going to tell you cart before the horse. It's going to say, work harder, try harder, make more money, get a side hustle, never give up, never eat, never sleep, stay awake 24 hours, do meth and Adderall so you can continue to work hard. It's like, is that really the way we want to live? Like, I don't, you know what I'm saying? Who the fuck wants, I don't want to fucking live that way. Hustle, 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 hustle. Hustle for what? What are you getting? What the fuck are you getting? All right. Can you take it with, I'm not saying to get and have materialistic things is bad. It's not. For me, listen, I'm a hustling motherfucker. All right. I work hard. I work hard. But the only reason I work hard isn't because I'm trying to hustle and work hard. It's because I'm surrendering radically to the day that's in front of me. And the things that I've created and my passions and FTG and this. So it's like a fully stepping into what is in front of me rather than like try. I don't know if I'm making any fucking sense, but you know, there's this line in the big book and it says, we were victims of the delusion that we could wrestle happiness out of this world by just managing well, self-propulsion, fixing, bending, twisting, applying, like, and I don't know. Listen, this is what it is. I'm going to tell you what it is right here, all right? It is the carefree, unhurried, effortless approach that always wins. It's the carefree, unhurried, effortless approach that always wins, because that is the approach and the energy of God. Carefree, unhurried, and effortless. Never square peg, round hole. Never bent, never broken, never twisted, never forced. You know, so when I'm experiencing collision in my life or pushback and things feel a little jammed up and tight and stiff, I got to G-check myself and see where I'm at. You know? Yeah, I don't know. I'll end on a silly story, I suppose. Maybe it doesn't really fit, but okay. I believe truly that when you are just living in your highest self, when you're loving on the mind, body, and spirit, you're moving around in need of nothing, wishing to give everything. When you're in that higher self, you no longer are wishing or wanting for anything in your life. You're only looking to give and be a part of. There's no even law of attraction because you don't want for anything. Okay? I believe that when we are that my number one loyalty is to developing that person and then fanning that flame for the rest of my life. And then again, my belief is that anything and everything I ever wanted is going to float up to my fucking doorstep, knock, let itself in, and pour me a cup of coffee. What a fun way to live, right? So in my previous relationship, we had picked up this like fruit basket tower. It was like, it was like a circle. There was like a bottom fruit basket, and then it went up a level with a smaller basket, and then it went up another level with even smaller basket, like a triangle or like a pyramid of circles, right? And it was like just too high to where it wouldn't fit on our counter under the cupboard. It would just hit the bottom of the cupboard. And it was like so frustrating, right? Whatever. We're like, oh, I want to use this, but we can't, right? And it was just like this thing that was around that was annoying, but it was metal. And she's like, well, do you got anything that can cut it? I'm like, I don't got any fucking thing I can cut metal. I don't got, And I was thinking about, I'm like, maybe I can just get some pliers and bend it, this and that. So one day, I'm out in the yard. It's like a Saturday. I'm like, bopping around the yard, doing like dad shit, like picking up sticks and like whatever, just fixing a hose somewhere or like, sweeping the fucking sidewalk or like, hosing the driveway down or whatever. And I see this tool in the grass and it's like kind of old and rusted. And it's a pipe cutter, or maybe like a hose cutter. It's I don't even know. But anyways, it's got clamps on it. You squeeze, and this curved blade rolls into another arm, and it cuts through hoses or metal or whatever. I pick this fucking thing up, and I go, this will work perfectly for the fruit basket. Walk in the fucking house, put that thing on, snip, and I'm just like, what is that? You know what I mean? What is that? I don't know. Maybe that's just coincidence, but like, it was so effortless and so carefree, and it was unhurried because let's say it was like a Sunday that we were like, oh, this fruit basket, I wish we could cut it. And what are we going to do? And we were just kind of like, whatever, let's just leave it here. And I was like, I'll go to Home Depot and get something eventually. And we just kind of, it's like this thing, unhurried. A week later, there it is. I don't know. It was just in the grass next to my neighbor's house, like underneath some dirt. And I know it wasn't my neighbor's tool. I know what you're thinking. Because he just don't get down like that, all right? He has people come and do that shit for him. So, I just think that those are like little funny winks, man, of being in the flow, being in the stream of life. Anyways, this was episode 135, The Cost of Comfort. Guys, please head over to the YouTube. We're going to blow it up. And we're going to have some fun, make a ton of different videos. Please go hit a subscribe real quick. I appreciate it. If you enjoyed this, send it to a friend, put it on Instagram, story, tag me. And also, if you want to be a interactive part of the podcast, send me an email at fromthegravepodcast@gmail.com. Send me a voice memo of a question, a comment, a concern, a topic you want talked about. Record yourself. I'll play it while I'm recording, and then I'll respond to it in real time. All right? It's going to be fun. Everyone's doing it, and that's going to be it. That's going to be it.
Got some kick-ass shit.
Have a good day, unless you plan otherwise.